Hello there. First off, before I get too deep into things, can everyone hear me okay? If you can hear me okay, make sure you jump into the chat real quick and just say thumbs up, everything's sounding good. It's a little noisy in here. We're in the press room here at Made by Google, so I can only control the noise so much. But as long as you can actually hear what I'm saying, that's all good to know. So yeah, if anybody has any problems hearing me, be sure to let me know in the chat. But I am super excited to be here today. We have two Pixel phones with us. We have the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and then we have the Pixel 9. So I'm going to be able to answer any questions you guys might have about that. Oh, I got a thumbs up. So cool. You guys can hear me okay. Awesome. So yeah, before I jump into your questions, well, before I throw your questions in the chat, please, by all means, start throwing questions down there. But before I jump into them, I just want to give a couple more minutes for people to join the live and give you just a quick rundown of what Google announced today in case you missed it. So the main star of the show is the Pixel 9. So this is the new default Pixel phone for 2024. It is about the same size as the Pixel 8 from last year. But as you can see, it has flat sides, which are very much like an iPhone. So if you hate the iPhone look, unfortunately, you're going to be stuck with a iPhone, similar iPhone style of sides for this smartphone. We also have a brand new camera bar. And then we also have a brand new Pro phone, the Pixel 9 Pro, which is the same size, but has the camera of the Pro phone. So unfortunately, Google did not give me the Pixel 9 Pro. So you just have to use your imagination. Imagine this camera going onto this phone, and that's what that phone is. And then you have the Pixel 9 Pro XL, which is basically the Pixel 8 Pro's sequel. And then there is the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, which unfortunately I also don't have. That is the sequel to the Pixel Fold. So those are the four phones that Google launched today. And then it also launched a new Pixel Watch, the Pixel Watch 3, which comes in two sizes this year for the first time, and then a new set of Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. So those are all the things that Google announced today, alongside a whole bunch of new Gemini features, some of which are going to be exclusive to the Pixel 9 series, and some of which are going to come to the wider Pixel series in the future. So let's dive right in to some questions. Before I get too crazy into this, though, please note that there are certain questions that I won't be able to answer. So some I will be able to do, but some I won't. So if I hear a question from you guys and I can't answer it because of NDAs that I've signed, unfortunately, I will have to skip that one. But feel free to ask any questions that you want, and I will let you know if I can answer it or not. So let's jump right into it with the first question we have from Mike True, who said, so the ultra wideband feature is only to unlock with the Pixel Watch 3. Will it have any other smart home type application? So to explain this, there's an ultra wideband chip in the Pixel Watch 3. It's the first time that an ultra wideband chip has appeared in a smartwatch from Google. And this will allow you to do two things so far. Number one, it'll allow you to unlock your phone. So you have your Pixel Watch on, you have your phone nearby, the two ultra-wideband chips will communicate with each other and your phone will automatically unlock. The same principle could apply to a car. So if you have a car that supports remote unlock through ultra-wideband technology, you could walk up to the car, hold your Pixel Watch to the car door, and then boom, the door will just open for you. Those are the only two things that Google has announced the ultra-wideband chip can do. It is very likely that there's going to be a lot more applications with ultra-wideband technology in the future. But for now, those are the only two things that the ultra-wideband chip in the Pixel Watch 3 can do. One other thing I'd like to note, the Pixel 9 does not have an ultra-wideband chip. I know that's really disappointing, but the vanilla Pixel 9, the one that costs $799, no ultra-wideband chip. But the Pixel 9 Pro XL does have an ultra-wideband chip, and then the Pixel 9 Pro Fold also does as well. Okay, next question. This is from RC Astorena. Is there any word about an official Google tracker? Great question. We've been hearing a lot of rumors about Google Pixel tracker coming out, and unfortunately, Google did not announce anything about that today. For those of you who haven't been following along, the Pixel tracker would probably be similar to an AirTag. The code name is Grogu, as in Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian. So that's a cute code name. but we don't know when this is coming out. We don't know if it's coming out. It's possible Google shelved it. We're not really sure. But considering that the Find My Device network rolled out this year, one would assume that Google would launch something this year for the tracker. But unfortunately, we haven't had that happen yet. So yeah, let's continue on. Next question is from Tor Arn Engestal. Any difference in features Pixel versus Pixel Pro? So actually, there are a lot. The Pixel 9 Pro obviously has an extra lens. That's the biggest thing about it, is you've got that extra telephoto lens right there that will allow you to zoom in on your subject with a lot more clarity than you would on the Pixel 9, which does not have that extra telephoto lens. That's the biggest difference between the two. There's also a lot more RAM in the Pixel 9 Pro, 16 gigabytes compared to 12 gigabytes in the Pixel 9. The Pixel 9 Pro XL obviously has a bigger battery. It also charges a little bit faster. There are a lot of differences between the different lines of phones. If you want my advice, the Pixel 9 Pro, the one that's this size, is probably the best bang for your buck. It's still expensive at $999, but you're going to get all the features that you could ever want from a Pixel phone in a very compact form factor. So yeah, definitely visit Android Authority and you can see we have different specs tables that'll compare all the different phones against each other. But the core difference is that you're going to get that extra telephoto lens, you're going to get more RAM, and you're going to get faster charging. All right, this one is from Jono MacD. Cameras on the Fold look worse than the Pros. How much worse? Obviously, just to say that we don't know yet. No, I can actually say the cameras are objectively worse on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. Just from a hardware standpoint, the upgrades that Google brought to the Pixel 9 Pro, the not foldable Pro, the upgrades that it brought to that phone, it did not bring to the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So the Pixel 9 Pro, the only thing that it got that's a little bit better this year is the ultra wide. The rest of the camera is all the same from last year. And then the selfie cameras on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold did get upgraded, but only slightly, just like a teensy little bit upgraded. But really, when it comes down to it, the hardware in this phone is light years ahead of the hardware inside the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. That means that I can practically guarantee you that the Pixel 9 Pro and the Pixel 9 Pro XL will deliver vastly superior camera footage than you will get from the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. So what I'm basically saying here is that if you want the best camera you can get from a Pixel, do not buy the Fold. Buy the 9 Pro or the 9 Pro XL. Ryan Anderson, will the Google Streamer be coming to the UK? Google told us that the Streamer would be coming to pretty much every market that the Chromecast was available in. It didn't give us a timeline though. So yes, it will be coming to the UK. When, unfortunately, I can't tell you. But yes, if you live in the UK or outside of the US and you could buy a Chromecast, I can guarantee you will be able to buy the Google TV Streamer sometime soon. Okay, Jeroen Borsboom. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Jeroen Borsboom, do you think many of the features of the Pixel Watch 3 will eventually be available on the Pixel Watch 2? Great question. So the Pixel Watch 2, which is what I'm wearing on my wrist right now, the Pixel Watch 2 and the Pixel Watch 3 have the exact same internal hardware, okay? So the Pixel Watch 2 has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 5100 Wear processor. So does the Pixel Watch 3. So really, there isn't any reason why the Pixel Watch 2 couldn't also support a lot of the features that we see on the Pixel Watch 3. There are only a few things that might come into play, which is that the Pixel Watch 3's display is a lot better than the Pixel Watch 2, and the Pixel Watch 3 now has a larger model, and that larger model can do a few things that the smaller models can't do. So if there's features that are specifically for the larger model, probably won't come to the Pixel Watch 2. And if there's features that are specifically about the better display on the Pixel Watch 3, they might not come to the Pixel Watch 2. Everything else should come to the Pixel Watch 2, unless Google decides, hey, screw the Pixel Watch 2, you don't get it. That's the only reason that it wouldn't come. Okay, Lord Giro Cruz, nice name there, Lord Giro. Lord Giro, does the Fold have wireless charging? Yes, it does, but this is hilarious. The Pixel Watch The Pixel 9 Pro Fold is an $1,800 smartphone, and its wireless charging speed is 7.5 watts. That's just crazy. So yes, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold has wireless charging. It is the same wireless charging speed as the Pixel 8a. So that's the kicker there. The 9 Pro XL and the 9 Pro and the 9 both have faster wireless charging than the 9 Pro Fold. So if you want to spend $1,800 on that foldable phone, great for you. But if you want fast wireless charging, you're going to want to go with one of these instead, because the 9 Pro Fold is terrible when it comes to wireless charging. It's also terrible when it comes to wired charging. It only charges 21 watts on the wire. All right, another question from Mike Trieu. Speaking of which, how fast is the wireless charging on any of the new lineup? Okay, so I just touched on that. Wireless charging on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold is 7.5 watts, which is once again as slow as the Pixel 8a. And I believe Ryan, my assistant here, will correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the regular phones is 15 watts. I believe this is the same wireless charging speed that we saw on the Pixel 8 series. So yeah, you're going to get twice as fast wireless charging speeds on the non-foldable phones than you will on the Fold. One thing to note here, the Pixel 9 Pro XL, this phone here, this one charges the fastest of all the phones in the Pixel 9 series. So this is with a wire, this one charges at 37 watts. So this is as fast as you can get. The 9 and the 9 Pro, they charge at 27 watts. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. So we have 15 watts charging for the 9, 21 watt charging wireless for the 9 Pro, and then 23 watt wireless charging for the 9 Pro XL. So in other words, this is the fastest charging phone in the lineup. 23 watts wireless, 37 watts wired. So if you want fast charging phone, this is the phone you want. Okay, Nick asked a question. They mentioned a vapor chamber for the Pros. How about the Vanilla P9 and the Fold? So we have a vapor chamber in all the phones except for the Fold. Now, that's unconfirmed. We haven't gotten a direct confirmation from Google whether or not the Pixel 9 Pro Fold has a vapor chamber. We know that the 9 and the Pro versions of the 9 have a vapor chamber in here. The Fold, we are still on the fence about. We could not get a direct confirmation from Google on that. So you have to stay tuned on that. But vapor chambers are in the other 3 phones. All right, question from Ross Neem. Do you think the price increase is worth it, justified? Thank you so much, Ross. I'm really glad that you asked this question because I have a lot to say about this. So the Pixel 9, the Vanilla 9 model, has gone up by $200 in 2 years. So in other words, the Pixel 6 landed at $599. The Pixel 7 landed at $599. The Pixel 8 jumped up to $699. And now just a year later, we jump up to $799. So we've seen significant price increases for this phone over the past 2 years. And honestly, I think it's justified. I know it's hard to stomach, but at the same time, this phone, if you line it up against an iPhone or a Galaxy S24, this phone, except for the telephoto lens that's on the Galaxy S24, except for that, pretty much every spec is going to line up. So really, this is the same price now as a Galaxy S24 and the same price as an iPhone 15. So Google, I think, has earned the right to charge that much for this phone. As for this phone, which also jumps by $100 this year to $1099, this phone has some significant upgrades. It has more RAM. It has a bigger battery. It has a better camera system. And it has this beautiful new design. So I think that $100 extra for these phones is actually justified. Now, whether or not you want to pay for that much for the phone, it's up to you. But I think that Google is well within its bounds to charge more for these phones. Yeah, so I'm going to take a quick sip of my drink here real quick. And talk to you a little bit about, while I'm waiting for more questions to come through, talk to you a little bit about the display of the phone. So the displays have the displays are totally flat. like they were last year for the Pixel 8, but they feel, I don't know, it feels even better this year because of the flat sides. With the Pixel 8 Pro, the Pixel 8 Pro, with the curve on the sides, it doesn't feel as nice. The corners feel a lot sharper because of that curve that goes over it. You have that metal chassis that goes around it, and then your finger kind of slides over it. Whereas this, because it's flat, it just feels so much smoother. It feels a lot like an iPhone, but it also feels a lot like a nothing phone. So if you care a lot about the feel of your phone and the display feel, which I do a lot for gestures and stuff like that, the feel of the display is a lot better. Also, one thing to note, you can't really tell here, but the bezels surrounding the phone are all uniform this year for the first time, which is really cool. So that means you're going to have even bezels all around the phone. The top bezel, bottom bezel, side bezels, everything is even, which I think is a really nice design touch. Okay, another question just came in. Ryan Anderson asked, will Gemini come to the original Pixel Buds Pro? I don't think so. And the reason I'm going to say that is because the Pixel Buds Pro 2 have a brand new chip inside, a new Tensor chip, the first of its kind, the Tensor A1. The Pixel Buds Pro from 2 years ago do not have that chip. Therefore, it is likely that Google will not bring Gemini to the older Pixel Buds Pro. Now, keep in mind, a lot of what's happening with Gemini on the Pixel Buds is happening from your phone. Your phone is connected to your buds, and the phone is doing a lot of the legwork there. So it is possible that Google could bring Gemini to older Pixel Buds, but I don't think it's very likely. I think that because the Pixel Buds Pro 2 had that that new chip inside, I think that we're going to be stuck as Gemini being an exclusive on those Pixel Buds Pro 2. And regardless of what Google decides to do, if you want Gemini, you're going to have to get the Pixel Buds Pro 2, at least at first. Because even if Google does bring Gemini to older Pixel Buds, it won't be for a while. All right, another question from Mike Triu. Do the phones have 1 Hz, 1 nits low power mode like the Pixel Watch 3? So the Pixel 9, this one, the Pixel 9, this does not have it. This goes as low as 60 Hertz. So it goes down to 60 Hertz or goes up to 120 Hertz. That's its range. The 9 Pro and the 9 Pro XL, 1 Hertz all the way up to 120 Hertz. So you're going to have a much better battery efficient experience on this phone because the screen is going to be able to go in a much wider gamut. So, for example, if you're reading an ebook on this device, you don't need your ebook text display to refresh 60 times every second. Once every second is going to be just fine for an ebook, and that's going to make your battery last a lot longer on this one. But on the 9, no such luck. It's something that's really important to you. I would recommend upgrading to the Pro models, the 9 Pro and the 9 Pro XL. All right, new questions come in here. EG1BA, how's the build quality of these Pixels? Any wobbly buttons? No way. These things are so nice. I'm clicking right now on the volume button. You obviously can't hear it because it's really noisy in here, but I mean, it's really clicky, solid, really nice. Power button feels great. Haptics are amazing. Yeah, I haven't taken the SIM tray out, so I don't know how good that goes as far as slidability and stuff like that, but the buttons are really nice on here. Oh, hold on. I got locked out of the phone real quick. What is happening? I don't know. Here, I'm handing this off. It's going to get fixed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. Another phone. Logic. Will the phone ship with Android 15 out of the box? Okay. I am so glad that somebody asked this one. So, I can show you right now. I have a Pixel 9 Pro XL in my hand, a $10.99 phone that Google just launched. And, I am going to pull up the system page here. I'm going to check your software updates, and you can see right there, software update, we are at Android 14. So no, the answer is no. The Pixel 9 series ships with Android 14 out of the box. Now, I know that might seem like bad news. I know that might seem like, Google's made a big mistake here. But remember, these phones were supposed to come out in October. That's when Google has always launched the Pixel phones. So really, we saw these phones months earlier, and Android 15 probably just isn't exactly ready yet. So even though these phones are going to have Android 14 out of the box, you're going to get Android 15 within a few weeks, a month or two at the latest. So yes, we are seeing for the first time a Pixel phone launching with this year's operating system last year's operating system instead of this year's, but you're only going to have Android 14 for a little while, and then 15 is going to come. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Manrique asks, does the Pixel 9 Pro Fold have the temperature sensor too? I am very weirded out by the temperature sensor. So the temperature sensor does appear on the Pixel 9 Pro, 9 Pro and 9 Pro XL. It doesn't appear on the 9, and it also doesn't appear on the Folds. So yeah, it's a little strange. It seems that Google just, I don't know, kind of didn't really care about the temperature sensor. There are no new temperature sensor features this year either. So that's a little weird. If you ask me, I think that Google just realized people don't seem to care much about the temperature sensor and has moved on. Gemini is the new shiny thing, and Google's all focused on Gemini. It's possible that they could introduce some sort of temperature sensor Gemini feature in the future. Maybe. I don't know. But yeah, for now, the temperature sensor seems like it's old news to Google. But if you still want the temperature sensor, it's right here on the phone if you like it. So there you go. All right, Jason Barnes, how do you feel these stack up against the older Pixel 7 Pro? Are they a solid upgrade, or does the 7 Pro still hold up well in your honest opinion? In my honest opinion, yes, the Pixel 7 Pro holds up very, very well. That is a fantastic phone, fantastic camera, still got a decent processor, beautiful display. It's a great phone. Now, that being said, if you want all the new fancy things that are coming to the Google line, you're still probably going to want to upgrade. And one of the core things that you're going to want to remember is that for the 9 Pro XL, this has 16 gigabytes of RAM. And a chunk of that, about, let's say, 3 to 4 gigabytes, is reserved for Gemini. So all the Gemini features that Google launched today, and all the Gemini features that Google is launching later on in this year and the next year and the year after that, those are going to rely on that extra little bit of RAM. The Pixel 7 Pro does not have that. The Pixel 7 Pro will have a limited subset of RAM for Gemini. That means that in the future, the 7 Pro is going to fall behind. So I'm not saying you have to upgrade, and I'm not saying you have to upgrade this year, but keep in mind that as great as the 7 Pro still is, you're going to want to upgrade at some point in the future if you care about those cool Gemini features. Okay, how are we doing on time here? I'd say we probably got time for another maybe 4 or 5 questions, and then I'm going to have to take off. But keep them coming, and I'll try to get to as many as I can before we have to go. All right. So I have a question from Sound Guys. This is really cute. So Sound Guys is our sister site. If you guys care about earbuds and audio products, be sure to check out soundguys.com. But yeah, Sound Guys is asking me a question, so I'll answer my friends at Sound Guys. Google also announced the Buds Pro 2. What are some of the earbud features that only work with Pixel phones? So that's a really good question. The Buds Pro 2 are going to work with the Pixel phones as far as the Gemini features, as far as I know. The Gemini demo that you saw with Gemini Live, I'm pretty sure that's only going to be for Pixel phones, at least at first. And then you're going to have a new equalizer with the Pixel Buds Pro 2, which is pretty cool. That's something that the Pixel Buds Pro didn't offer, or at least offered in a very limited capacity. The Pixel Buds Pro 2, though, are going to have a lot more fine-tuned ability for what you want to do with your sound quality. Keep in mind, though, the star features of the Pixel Buds Pro 2 are universal. You don't need a Pixel for it. That's the really, really good ANC, the really good high-quality audio that you're going to get for your music, as well as the fit and that twist feature where you put the buds in and twist, and there's a new little piece of plastic that will make it fit in your ear a lot better. So when you're doing workouts, it doesn't fall out of your ears. All those things are totally valid for any phone. It doesn't matter what you're connected to. So the Pixel Buds Pro 2, if you like them but don't want to join the Pixel ecosystem by buying a Pixel phone, you're going to get a lot of the same great features that you would get if you owned a Pixel. All right. From a question from Quesawea, thoughts on Tensor G4? Personally, I think Google, Samsung made SoC are the worst feature by far of their phones, getting scammed every year with premium prices, yet their SoC are years behind. So I kind of agree with you a little bit. Yes, the Tensor G4 is not nearly as good as what we see from something like the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, or of course the 8 Gen 4 that we expect to be launched in a couple of weeks. When you compare the Tensor G4 and the Qualcomm 8 series, it's like night and day. No question, your argument is absolutely sound there. However, the thing that the Tensor does that the Qualcomm Snapdragon doesn't is all that AI stuff. The Tensor is so fine-tuned to do well with AI features baked into the Pixel phone. Those are things that you're just not going to get with the Qualcomm Snapdragon stuff. But keep in mind that the Tensor G4 is not what Google wanted. Google really wanted to redesign the Tensor system completely for its own purposes. It was going to design it from the ground up. No Samsung involved whatsoever. But that didn't work out this year. So instead, we got Tensor G4. But the Tensor G5 next year, that's what you're going to wait for. The Tensor G5 is going to be the first thing from Google that it's designed all on its own. And I am very much optimistic about what we can expect from Tensor G5. That being said, Tensor G4 is going to be great. It's just not going to be as good as the Qualcomm Snapdragon. Okay, a couple more questions here. Marcos, does the Fold seem like it's still a bit too heavy to hold, or is it day and night compared to the first Fold? It's still really heavy. I wouldn't say it's night and day compared to the first Fold. It's a lot bigger, it's a lot thinner, but it's a lot bigger. The weight is pretty much the same. It's chunky in your hand, but it is thinner than ever before. So it does feel a little bit better. But if you're talking weight, the weight is very, very similar. But if you're talking about the feel in your hand outside of weight, this is way better, way, way better. Ross Neem, is this the end of the A line of devices? No, it is not. So over the past year or so, we've really thought that the Pixel A line was going to end because it was so weird. Like, why would you buy a phone for $499 when you can buy a much, much, much better phone for $599? It made no sense. But now this phone is $799. So now a $499 phone that's a lower quality, lower grade, that makes way more sense. So yeah, I think the Pixel A series is going to continue. And we're going to see a Pixel 9a next year, if I had to guess. I don't know that for certain, but if I had to guess, Pixel 9a could be on the way. All right, we got time for two more questions here. Two more, and then I got to take off. So, from Paul J. I think this is just Paul. Is this just Paul? This is Paul. Paul, what are you doing? Why are you asking questions? All right, I'll answer Paul's question. Does the increased size of the 45 millimeter make it worth buying for the bigger display rather than the 41 millimeter? Yes. The bigger Pixel Watch 3, I think, is worth buying over the smaller one because you get more display and that enables you to see more stuff. Like if you're checking the weather, like if I want to check the weather on my Pixel Watch here, my Pixel Watch 2, I tap the weather, I have to start scrolling, right? I have to scroll a whole bunch to see all that information. On the Pixel Watch 3, though, with the bigger display, a lot more information is shown all at once, so you have to do less scrolling. It also means that if you have a watch face, like my watch face here, right? My watch face here could show more information because the face is bigger. So I think that the bigger display is going to give you more advantages than the smaller one. All right. I'm not going to count that question, though, because Paul asked it, and Paul is part of the Android Authority team. So hopefully you guys have already met and enjoyed watching Paul's videos on the Android Authority channel. So we have a question here from your boy. I hope I said that right. Your boy. I'm still using the OnePlus 7 Pro. Oh my God, dude. That phone is 29. That's a 5-year-old phone. I'm still using the OnePlus 7 Pro. I haven't changed any component. Phone works perfectly fine. I only don't receive new security updates, but I don't mind. When I upgrade to a Pixel, benefits are. Okay, so I had the OnePlus 7 Pro, and that was, for a long time, my favorite Android phone of all time. So I appreciate you holding onto your phone as long as you have. But in the past 5 years, we've seen massive gains in battery efficiency. We've seen massive gains in display efficiency, and we've seen massive gains in photography. The camera on the back of, the camera on the back of the Pixel 9 Pro XL, this is going to blow the camera on the OnePlus 7 Pro out of the water. I mean, the images and video you're going to get from this are going to be like night and day compared to what you're getting from the OnePlus 7 Pro. That being said, you are going to have to give up on the cool little pop-up selfie cam. Unfortunately, no phone in 2024 does the pop-up selfie cam. So sad to say. All right, last one. This is a question from Chemistry Pops. Hey, is the Gemini demo they showed at the start of the show available on every Pixel? I tried it on my Pixel 8 and it didn't work. No, the Gemini demos that they showed at the event are all coming to the Pixel 9 series first. They will eventually, or at least most of them will eventually come to other Pixel phones, but the Pixel 9 series is the only place to be able to use those Gemini features for the time being. We actually got to try it out. I tried out Gemini Live maybe like 20 minutes before we started this YouTube Live, and it was incredible. We have a YouTube short that's going to come out in the next maybe like, I don't know, hour or so. Paul is working on that right now, and it's going to show you how amazing Gemini Live really was. As a little bit of a spoiler, what I did is I asked it to recommend me a video game. I said, my favorite video game is Horizon Forbidden West, and recommend me games that are like that. And it did a really good job, not only of having direct conversational action with me, but also recommending me games that are actually really a lot like Horizon Forbidden West. It was really incredible. So stay tuned for that short to appear on the Android Authority channel coming up very soon. Okay. Thank you so much to everybody who tuned in and asked great questions. It's really great to see you guys and see you guys so interactive and having a great time with me. Once again, Pixel 9 series, pre-order it now. We have links all over AndroidAuthority.com. So go to Android Authority and you can get your link to pre-order your phone. We also have a ton of information on the phones that I couldn't possibly touch on during this live. We also have more photos. We have a whole other video going over all the colors for the phones. We have so much content for these phones. So please check out AndroidAuthority.com and see what we have to say. In the meantime, I will see you guys next time we do a live. And once again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And also thanks again to Ryan Haynes, who has been my assistant here. We'll show you Ryan over here. So here's Ryan. Hey, so thanks to everybody for helping out. And I will see you guys next time.